From the fantastic cast featuring some old and new faces, to when you need to mark your calendar for an aquatic spectacle, here's everything you need to know about Aquaman 2. Folks, get ready for the hottest scoop from the depths of the DC universe. And the first order of business is the sequel's cast. Of course, the main man, Jason Momoa, is back as the titular lead. After all, his first underwater adventure in 2018 had fans hooked, line, and sinker, becoming DC's first movie to cross $1 billion. So he's back to steal our hearts as Arthur Curry. But I know you're more interested in the franchise's Mira. Amber Heard played the redhead goddess in the first flick. But after her controversial legal battle with her ex-husband, Johnny Depp, many weren't in favor of her return, even starting a petition to remove her from the sequel. They even came up with replacement options like Blake Lively, Sophie Turner, and Emilia Clarke, Momoa's fan-favorite lady love in Game of Thrones. Now, the million-dollar question is, has Amber been replaced? That's a no, amigo.
No, God!
She will indeed appear in Aquaman and the Last Kingdom, but sources say her role has been reduced, which can only be confirmed with the movie's release. For the rest of the all-star squad, you've got newcomers such as Johnny Zhao playing an original character, Stingray, Vincent Regan as Atlan, the feared former ruler of Atlantis, and India Moore suits up as a killer shark-like villain, Karshan. The comic readers would recognize these last two characters as they've come straight from the pages. Another Game of Thrones alum, Pilou Asbæk, is also lingering in the cast list, but his role is still under wraps. Coming over to the familiar faces, you've got Patrick Wilson back as the step-bro Orm, but this time, he's not at the other end of Arthur's trident. It's Yahya Abdul Mateen II's Black Manta stirring up some major trouble, and that brings us to the sequel's plot. Remember in the first movie, Manta, aka David Kane, had some scores to settle with Aquaman? He and Orm had joined forces to destroy the hero, and Kane, in his cutting-edge Atlantean armor, tries to kill the lead, only to be thrown over a cliff, seemingly to his death. But you better not jump to any conclusions yet. The mid-credit scene revealed a familiar comic character Dr. Stephen Shin rescued, so count on Kane to return surging with vengeance pro max. Not kidding, guys. And get this, he'll raise a tsunami of mischief, forcing Arthur to partner with his former foe Orm to take him down. Also, you can't forget that the Lost Kingdom's title hinted that it may be hiding a powerful ancient evil that Manta will try to release. This comes from the movie's director, James Wan, who teased fans at CinemaCon 2023, and he had more ocean baiters like this to hook you in. He mentioned that Aquaman 2 is taking inspiration from the 1960s cult classic, Planet of the Vampires, which was the ultimate title terror. Considering that, and Wan's extensive horror background, the sequel will undoubtedly drop major deep-sea shivers. The director said that the movie will be more mature, so you'll notice a change of tone. But before you all start freaking out about missing Arthur's trademark wisecracks, which were a massive reason behind the first movie's success, James has confirmed that the sequel is still packing the trident-tickling comedy. Phew. Now, these weren't the only details that slipped out of CinemaCon. What if I told you it also unveiled the official trailer? And I've got all the hush-hush deets, guys. It was a half-hour reel featuring James and Jason introducing the movie. Before then, moving on to the real action, aka the trailer, it opened with Momoa's Arthur at his lighthouse home talking to his father, Tom Curry, about his new life as the king of the Seven Kingdoms. Immediately, the scene cuts to chaos, showing Aquaman fighting a submarine underwater and bad guys on a beach. It's safe to say he's got his hands full. Speaking of that, surprise, surprise, the superhero's a dad now. You also get a quick look at his enemy. Yaya's Black Manta is with his trident now, and not just a regular one, guys. He's got his hands on the legendary Black Trident. He's planning to use this upgraded weapon to destroy Aquaman and everything he holds dear. Uh-oh. With Arthur's kid, the stakes are much higher, meaning our dude's in serious trouble. That's why he's pairing up with his stepbrother, the one he dethroned in Aquaman. And Orm's got some massive grudges about that, refusing to be called Arthur's brother. Well, nothing like some family drama to spice up the story. You'll see the two make up. As Juan said, the sequel would focus on the romance between the two brothers. Before your mind gets into the gutter, he's talking about sibling love. As for Curry's real soulmate, Mira pops up in the battle scene, which is packing insane action galore and epic kaleidoscopic visuals that blew the audience's minds like bubbles. Unfortunately, fans have to wait because the trailer's official release may take some time. Thankfully, I've got some some sick behind-the-scenes teases to keep you entertained for now. For starters, Jason dropped his character's new costume on Instagram, and my, is it splash-tacular. It's dark green this time, a tad different from the golden green outfit he donned in Aquaman. This look is closer to the superhero's latest comic outings, so thankfully, it's comic accurate. It also has fish scale-inspired circles, adding some texture. The look is wrapped up with metallic boots, gloves, and of course armor, to ward off any lethal attacks. All this will come in handy, cause Black Manta's costume upgrade is mad too. It features some new changes, like the Trident's edition and a metallic helmet to make him look scarier. Instagram held more teases like this. Jason posted a bombshell of a snap, revealing that Ben Affleck, aka Batfleck, is stopping by to say hello too. They were planning to keep this a secret, but then a Warner Brothers studio tour group caught the two actors coming out of soundstage together, so there goes the surprise. And while we're discussing surprises, it looks like the movie's director may have ruined one too. He posted an update on Instagram when filming began in June 2021. Eagle-eyed stans spotted Necros written on the movie slate featured in the picture. It could be nothing, or it could be a massive hint. The OG comic readers' minds instantly went to the black city of Necros, which could be the movie's lost kingdom. This city is a distorted reflection of Atlantis, and it hates the surface dwellers with a passion. So trouble ahoy! And trouble may be following Aquaman 2 as well, as it gears up to join the DCEU. But before I address the worrying matter, let's talk about where the sequel lands in DC. Considering Peter Safran and James Gunn's recent revamp, Wan opened up about the challenge of fitting the movie into the new version. Thankfully, apart from some adjustments, the director was glad the sequel is pretty far removed from the bigger universe, so it's practically a standalone. Still, fans are concerned about Aquaman 2's fate in DC. After all, this cinematic universe has been facing some rough waters lately. None of its recent releases have been able to score a roaring win. They either get mixed reviews like The Flash or become a major buzzkill like Shazam: Fury of the Gods. So now, Gunn desperately needs Aquaman and The Last Kingdom to make a tidal wave at the box office, just like the first movie did. Only time will reveal if it manages to do that or falls flat on its face. So, when's the verdict coming? Well, December 20th, 2023 is the date you need to look out for. But it has come up after so many changes that it made my head spin. Originally, the film was supposed to drop on December 16th, 2022, but COVID delays hit like a bad storm, and Warner Brothers shifted it around to March 17th, 2023, putting it between Shazam 2 and The Flash. But then, Barry Allen's flick had some confusing twists that changed things. Spoiler alert, it featured Michael Keaton, reprising his role as Batman from the late 80s and early 90s movies. But the test screening tripped the audience big time, because Keaton's intro into the DCEU after Aquaman 2, which features Batfleck, didn't make sense. So, long story short, The Flash was moved up, and our sequel landed in December. Hopefully, there won't be any more changes to it. As for the crew's reaction to the delays, director James Wan doesn't mind a Christmas release. He's excited, saying that he's a bit superstitious. And since the first movie was also released in December, maybe it's good luck. The over $1 billion earning would fall on the sequel too. Well, fingers crossed for that. So, from when you need to mark your calendar for an aquatic spectacle to the Fantastic cast featuring some old and new faces, that was everything I know about Aquaman 2 so far.